Happy, blessed Tuesday. Hey, Wanda. Hey, Angel. Hey, Linda. Hey, Sharon. How y'all doing today? And just not, that's a Snicker ice cream. How y'all doing today? Mm-mm. I like it, but I don't like the peanut. It's really good. I don't know why I don't like the peanuts in the M&M's either. Y'all, the topic for today is, so I was looking on my YouTube channel. Thank y'all on TikTok. Thank y'all on Facebook. And thank y'all on YouTube. Thank y'all for the love. But yeah, I like the ice cream, but I don't like the peanut. So y'all listening. Today the topic is, hey brother, hey Alan. The topic for the day is, I was watching my YouTube channel, one of my videos, and somebody said, I need to go and heal. Mm-hmm. So somebody said I need to go and heal. Wait, y'all, I'm coming. I'm trying to eat my ice cream before it melts. Happy birthday, girl. Mm-mm. I'm trying to eat my ice cream. You say, do I know who this is? Mm-mm. This ice cream is so good. Hey, Janet. I'm almost finished. Y'all just wait. I got 2 more bites. I think like 3. Mm, mm. What's it? Are you trying to move by you? Mm. Mm-hmm. Listen. Hey, now, I got to get my ticket for the reunion, too. Mm, mm. Don't rush me. Y'all be waiting till other people eat this stuff. Mm-hmm. Hey, Trey, I ain't falling. I thought I had 2 more bites, but I have. I'm trying to get around the peanut. I don't like the peanuts. I don't got to leave. I'm not about to choke because somebody can't wait. Hey, Derek. I'm trying to get my fine back. That was ice cream Snicker. And yes, it was good. And I'm finished. So y'all listen. Let me drink a little water to make it go down. Is it quiet on the ground? Is it quiet on TikTok? Is it quiet on YouTube? Is it quiet on Facebook? It should be. So y'all listen. The topic for the day is somebody came on my YouTube channel and they say, I need to go heal. So listen. I believe without a shadow of doubt that we all need a little healing. We all need a little healing. I'm going to say it again. We all done been through something. And we all still going through something. No matter what way you look at it. Y'all might not be going through what I'm going through or what I've been through. But we all going through something. I don't give a darn if it's your bills, if it's your spouse, if it's your children, if it's your grandchildren. We all got stuff that we need to heal from. And some of us probably ain't gonna never heal. The nerve of some of y'all. Oh, because y'all on the outside looking in. And y'all can see, thank y'all Queen on TikTok. And y'all can see what I'm going through. And some of y'all can hear. Some of y'all, some of y'all can hear what I'm going through me expressing my feelings. But the nerve of some of y'all to say, I need to go heal. And maybe I do. That's why it took me a ride out of town. Because I know what I need better than y'all. You got to be a very strong-minded woman to deal with some of the stuff that I deal with and still dealing with. But the nerve of some of y'all, oh, you need to go heal. And I say it in a respectable way. And maybe you need to go heal too. How about that? Y'all could never make me feel like I'm the only one in the whole world just got some shit going on. I'm just saying, thank y'all on TikTok. Y'all could never make me feel like I'm the only one in the whole world got some shit going on. Or I'm the only woman in the whole world that a man then cheated on. I'm just saying, I forgot y'all think y'all better. I forgot we live in a world where it's a bunch of perfect people that ain't got no shit going on. Because last I remember, we all are imperfect people. So how could somebody tell me, you need to go heal? Well, thank you. Back at you. Because you need to heal too. I know what I got to do. See, some of y'all in denial about some of the shit y'all dealing with every day. Some of y'all know how to throw the rock and hide y'all hanging. See what I'm saying? No, some of y'all, better yet, some of y'all ain't on the internet. You know why some of y'all ain't on the internet? Because at the end of the day, y'all not telling nobody what y'all going through. But me being a woman of God, in spite of my imperfection, because y'all always find a way to pass judgment on somebody. But me being an imperfect woman, I know without a shadow of doubt, ain't none of us on here is perfect. And I'm going to say it again. Your internet, I don't know if I can say that word on TikTok. Your internet unalive us. Because all y'all doing is unaliving the keyboard. That's all y'all do. Y'all throw the rock, hide your hand. Y'all hide behind the internet. But one thing about me, if I come to the internet, oh, I should have put my phone on Do Not Disturb. One thing about me, if I come to the internet, When I pop up on the internet or pop up on your page, it's going to say Ann Mays. That means I'm identifying myself. What about some of y'all pickaboos? What about some of y'all that's hiding behind the internet with y'all punk ass? Because y'all want to throw the rock and throw the darts and hide your hand. But at the end of the day, I'm outspoken with mine, so y'all got a problem with that. So y'all, when the person is outspoken and they speak their mind and they let y'all know who they is and they're transparent and they take accountability, y'all don't like that. Y'all ready for me to come on the internet and lie on the internet in y'all face. Y'all like the people that come on here and lie and fabricate and make up shit. I say, Ann, they don't like you because you always telling them some real shit. And they don't like the real. We living in a world, a wicked world, with a bunch of wicked people. And let me see. Oh, wait, let me quote this scripture. 1 John 5:19 says that we're in a world with lying, powerful, wicked people. The world is full of powerful, wicked people. That's the world we living in. That's what the word said. That's not what Ann said. We living in a world, people got power, and they wicked with their power. So we living in a world and they got a bunch of wicked power people that make the wicked think their power. And guess what? Let me say this. When you change in your life and you don't want to be the way you used to be, because I was in a wicked world with the wicked people too. I was one of the wicked people out there in the wilderness, with the wolves and sheep clothes. I was one of them. I was out there with them too. So I know what it's like. But when you change your persona and change your life in certain ways, I'm not 100% changed, but I'm working on me. But I know I'll never be perfect, but I can admit that I am working on me. But some of y'all have the nerve, don't want to pass your opinion about somebody else's life, and y'all ain't got y'all shit together. Oh, well, she need to go sit down and all that. And that happened years ago. I don't give a damn if it happened centuries ago. It still happened. And it ain't happened to you. And if it ain't happened to you, how can you tell me how to heal over something that happened to me? I'm just saying, some of y'all have a lot of nerve. Some of y'all going through shit with y'all children. Some of y'all want somebody to love y'all, and the person y'all with, y'all thought they love y'all, and they don't. So that means you're going through some shit too. We all got some shit we dealing with. You in love with somebody else's husband. You in love with somebody else's wife. Y'all got shit going on too. But no, some of y'all gonna go to y'all grave and y'all gonna carry that shit with y'all, but y'all gonna leave it for the next generation. See, people dislike the truth. It triggers them to get in defense mode when you tell the truth. They want you to fabricate and lie, but when you disclose the truth and you expose them, people don't like you telling the truth. They rather for you to get on the internet and tell a lie. Thank you, Queen. Thank you. They rather for me to get on the internet and tell a lie and say, well, this happened, that happened, and it didn't happen like that. But I guarantee you, if I was still out there in the wilderness doing the shit that they doing in the wilderness, I get more likes, more views, more shares. The wicked love the wicked. Why you think women, other women like women that mess with married men? Why you think all them hang together? Because she was once a woman that was with a married man, and she don't see no wrong in her friend messing with a married man. So birds of a feather flock together. Some people don't see no wrong. But let me tell you something. Let me tell y'all what happened. What's happening? Maybe when I was young, I ain't know no better. I didn't know nothing about adultery. Hey, Queen, I ain't know nothing about a woman supposed to be submissive unto her husband as he submissive unto God. I didn't know anything about none of that. By me going different churches and all that kind of stuff, that I come from Catholic or the Baptist, got baptized and all that. And even when you switch over and try to at least try to live right, the enemy always gonna come back and bring up your past. Well, girl, you remember? Well, I'm saved, sanctified, but I'm still working on me. See, when you say you go to church and you trying to change your life and all that, people have the tendency to always bring up your past. Girl, you remember when you did this? Girl, you remember when you did that? Remember when you did it? Let me tell you something. Now that I'm not in the wilderness no more, I got friends, but I got friends that don't want to be with me. Girl, nobody don't want to be. Girl, you talking about God. You talking about Jehovah. Girl, nobody don't want to be with you when you change your life. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't lie a lot. I still lie every now and then. When the bill collectors and all them call my phone sometimes, I lie, tell them I'm going to pay it tomorrow and I'll pay it next week. So I'm not going to get on here and perpetrate a fraud like I'm so holier than thou, because he said we all are imperfect people. Now, do I know lying is not right? I don't care if it's a big lie, small lie, to the critic or whoever it is, it's still a damn lie. And y'all gonna tell me that y'all perfect. And y'all gonna tell me that y'all gonna lie sometimes too. And y'all gonna tell me that y'all don't play little games and lie to y'all children, y'all grandchildren, and lie to y'all spouse. So y'all just perfect people. And I'm the only one that come from in the wilderness and could say, oh yeah, I did that, but I ain't doing that no more. I promise you, I made a promise to Job. And I ain't gonna lie. The one promise I made, I would never go against that promise. And I'm not gonna tell you what it is, because that's my personal business. That's between me and him. But I kept that promise. And in the process of me keeping this promise, the enemy came at me all kind of ways. They still coming at me because they want me to break that promise. But if I break the promise, then I lose my life. Hey, sister girl. If I break the promise, I loses my life. Don't let that go over y'all head. I didn't promise him I was going to be perfect, because he already know I'm not perfect. But I made a promise. If I ever make the promise, if I ever break the promise, I am going to lose my life if I break the promise. So that's the promise I ain't going to break. When I leave this earth, it's going to be my time. No time soon. Because that's the promise that I'm going to keep. Let me tell y'all something. In the process of getting older, I have learned a lot of things, Wendy. I have learned a lot of things, Sharon, in the process of getting older. You learn the people who love you. You learn the people who love you for you. You learn the people who love you because it's beneficial to them. You learn about people in general. You learn the people who gonna go along to get along. All that come with growth. I learned so much to say I'm 60 years old. I learned things that I never really knew. I learned a lot of things. I never, when I was in my younger days out here getting money and doing me and enjoying my life, nothing even mattered. So I understand a lot of people that's out there in the wilderness, shit don't matter to them right now because they can't see it because they're in the wilderness. How you gonna see what's on the other side if you're in the wilderness? Long as you're in the wilderness, you ain't trying to say, girl, I'm not trying to talk about no Jehovah. Girl, I ain't trying to talk about no God. I'm in the wilderness and look like the people in the wilderness is winning. That's what the enemy want us to believe. Because the enemy had me say, well, damn, and you had more likes and more views long as you was cussing and going off and you was telling people about themselves. They was coming over there. They want, I want to know who she is. I like her because she go off, she cuss, she do all that. Oh, they love me long as I was in the wilderness. But now I tell them, let me tell you something. I ain't in the wilderness no more. I'm trying to get my life together. I ain't doing none of that I used to do. And they don't like it. They prefer the old me. Because the old me, when they never made no promise that I made a promise to Jehovah. The old me wanted her lick back. She did. The old me was saying, oh, so you just gonna let them you just let all these people just play with you? They disrespecting you. So you gonna punk out? So you just gonna let them just run all over you? You just gonna let them be all on the internet playing with you? You gonna let them bump the wheelchair? Or you getting soft? That's what the internet said. See, y'all think it's a game to be strong. So I know how the game go and I'm gonna play the game. But at the end of the day, guess who's gonna win? If it's us versus them, who you think gonna win? I promise y'all I'm gonna come out on top. Because I'm gonna stand on his word. He said, I'll never leave you nor the forsaken you. Why would you go back where I brought you from? I brought you from a mighty long way. Why would you let the enemy set you up and go back where I brought you from? That's the trick of the enemy. The trick of the enemy want me to feel some type of way. I'm 31 years into being, I'm going on 32 years into being in a wheelchair, and I think I did a phenomenal job. I raised 4 children from a wheelchair, and I beat the odds with people playing with me, bumping the wheelchair, looking at me some type of way, letting the door go, scratching my cars, setting my cars on fire. Okay? People. And people saying, so hey, all you got to do is give me the word. And I'm saying, nah. We going to let that ride. We ain't going to worry about that. Because I know who I am and whose I am. When I was in the wilderness, I ain't know I was a bad girl in the wilderness. I ain't know who I was. I ain't even know nothing about jealousy. I ain't know nothing about nothing. That. Let me tell y'all what's going to happen. The younger people right now that don't want to hear me, that don't want to hear nothing about their life. Let me tell y'all what's about to happen. See, God allowed me to be public figure for a reason. Because he got to show up and show out. Because the wicked ones that's on the internet thinking they're winning. They thinking they're winning. So if God don't show up and show out, you know what the enemy gonna say? Where you go at now? I never heard somebody say that. Oh, if you gotta go, well, where you go at now? Why this and why that and why this and why that? Where you go at? That's because they mocking it. Amen. That's the people who don't believe. So to the people that might say, oh, well, you always talking about Jehovah, talk about God and that, but you still in a wheelchair. Hold up, let me get a sip on that. But y'all who don't know me, that know of me, that heard of me, I'm in a wheelchair for a reason. I'm in a wheelchair because the wheelchair saved my life. I'm just saying. For y'all who don't know me, I'm in a wheelchair because the wheelchair saved my life. His grace and his mercy was sufficient enough for me. That's why I'm still in a wheelchair. But let me tell y'all the flip side to that. I've been in a wheelchair for 31 going on 32 years, right? I could have been walking again. Because when I got pum in the back, the little fragment from the bullet, a little bit of fragment as a mustard seed sitting on the spine. Right? I have no surgery. The bullet's still right here in my chest. Right here in the middle of my chest. Right? I just was in a coma. Thank you, Queen. I was in a coma for quite some time. I don't remember suffering. I don't remember crying. I don't remember whining. All I remember is a white, beautiful cloud. Hey, Queen. That's all I remember. A white, beautiful, beautiful cloud. I was at peace. I wasn't suffering. And then all I remember, one day they came, I guess, to my bedside. And they asked me, did I feel them with an ink pen or a pencil going down my feet? I guess that's the way they determined that I was paralyzed from the waist down. But let me say this. He could have took me. He could have took me. But he left me here. So if he left me here, it'll be a sellout if I chose to go back and get my leg back. So all y'all out there who saying, yeah, somebody did something to her and she ain't do nothing, or this person ain't do nothing, and they got away with what they did. Let me tell y'all something about life. None of us get away with nothing that we do. Nobody's exempt from life. So nobody get away. So everything that happened to me, it happened for a reason. Yeah, I'm in a wheelchair, but the wheelchair saved my life. Whether y'all won't believe it or not, I'm still here. And I see people and they be like, little stuff and this and that, but I do know without a shadow of doubt, people know how far to go when they play with you. People put up a facade. I thought by now everybody would be then growed up. I thought by now everybody be on some real type shit. See what I'm saying? But and how you want people to be on some real type shit when they already showed you who they was. You expecting other people to be something that they're not. Some people ain't gonna never change, but they're gonna be forced into a situation where you're gonna say, I gave you ample opportunity to change and get your life right. I know ain't none of us gonna ever be perfect. I know that without a shadow of doubt. But the good thing about life is when you're striving to live right, to do the right thing. Because nothing good comes out of you living a bad life. Whatever you put in, that's what you're getting back. If you put in bad energy, negative, all that kind of stuff, that you're gonna get that back. So to y'all that's out there, y'all got y'all strength now, y'all can walk in this and that. But I promise you, some of y'all ain't got more peace than me. Even though y'all on the outside looking at my life, you're not even happy with your life, and you could get up and walk. And you got a spouse, you got a husband, you got a wife, you got somebody in your life. You got the life you got, somebody want. I don't care what kind of life you got, somebody want your life. That's how Jehovah tell us, no matter what I give y'all, it's never enough. I give you this, you want something else. I give you this, you want something else. I give you this. It's never enough. No matter what you do for us, it seems like it's never enough. And that's how some of y'all live with life. They got some of y'all got money and y'all scared to spend it. Some of y'all scared to enjoy your life. Some of y'all 70, 80, 90 years old, damn near 100, 40, 50, whatever. And y'all can travel, y'all can do certain things. He allow you, oh, you pray that, oh Lord, you'll give me some money so I could go out the country. You'll give me some money, I could do this. You'll give me some money, I could give me a new house. You could give me some money so I could get a new car. You'll give me some money, I could get this and that. He gave you money to get everything that you want, and you're still not happy with none of it. Somebody got the house, the car, the dog, the cat. You know, you got everything that another woman would love to have, and you're still not happy. How can y'all believe that the people in the wilderness gonna be happy if they're in the wilderness? How, if God people going through, and the ones who know God and acknowledge him, if we go through, how come you think the people in the wilderness is happy? I'll wait. Y'all on the outside looking in. Y'all want somebody else's life and they don't even want their own damn life. Stop judging what you see. Because everything you see ain't always what you see. Because the people in the wilderness, they got a way of putting up shit and making it look like it's all fine and dandy. And it's the grass is greener on the other side when it's not. Do y'all not know how many women around the world make believe that they are so happy in their relationships and all that shit there, and all that's a facade? Men too. We got so many single women around the world, so it's pathetic. And right now it's at an all-time high where a lot of us women don't even trust men. You tell me one goddamn lie, and guess what? I'm gonna believe you a liar the rest of your life. A lot of us women then been scarred and wounded. So we barely, some of us don't trust no damn body. I'm just saying. How could I trust all y'all? How could you trust her? And somebody say, oh, see, that's why I don't be around a bunch of women and all that. You ain't got to be around a bunch of women. You could be around one woman. You've been around for decades. And expect the unexpected. That's the one he's sleeping with. The one that knew everything about. The one that say, oh, go best friend. Go best friend. You my best friend. You my best friend. And in your mind, not my best friend. And in his word, he said, trust no man. I'm going to say it again. He said, trust no man. Angela Tracy. That's what he said. That's what he said. Because everybody suffers to fail. Some people can't trust their damn self. And you putting all your trust in them. I trust so many people before, and I was like, you know what? Let me tell you what my problem was. Everybody that put the wheelchair together, everybody that showed me love, everybody that, nah. Just because people do good things for you don't mean that some people have a hidden agenda. They doing it because you look good, you look like money. And in their mind, they ain't gonna ask you right now. They're gonna ask you sooner than later. But they have a motive. Some people do shit because they have a motive. They come at you like that, like they like you like that. The most people that hurt people around the world is the people that they love. The people that's supposed to love them. That's the ones that hurt you the most. That talk behind your back, that make you look bad and talk and degrade you and all that kind of stuff. The people that you love, they know about you. They'll have the whole family turn their back on you, all because of what they say. But if you gonna say, I say that, what you say? See, when people get in arguments and be fussing and all that kind of shit there, and it be family members getting at it and going at it and all that kind of stuff there, some people, it be one side. Somebody said this, and what you said. The last I remember it takes somebody to talk, somebody to listen, and somebody listening and talking. So while we all around the world that's passing judgment on people, because y'all don't have y'all talk about the blind, the crippled, the crazy, y'all don't have no filter. But what about when they come knocking on your door? What about when it come in your family? Oh, that's different, huh? When shit start happening in y'all family, oh, y'all look at life different, huh? But let me tell y'all something. Before it's all said and done, if you don't have a relationship, you either gonna have a relationship with the wicked and Satan, or you're gonna have a relationship with Jehovah. If you have a relationship with Jehovah, guess what? You're gonna have some bumps and bruises. Because I ain't lying. For you to be saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Spirit, and for you to be following him, it's painful. It hurts so bad when you change your life. But when you get over that hurt, it's peace on the other side. See, I could come home and be at peace because I'm at peace within myself. And then sometime when you change your life, you're going to think Jehovah not working for you. Some of y'all was almost to y'all give up him. And he came through for some of y'all. And some of y'all at the point right now where y'all like, well, God, I've been praying for years. And I've been asking, a lot of y'all want him to provide y'all with certain things. But y'all don't want to give up certain things. How y'all want something for nothing? Oh, God, I just want this, and I want that, and I want this. And yeah, he do give us the things that our heart desires. So once he give you that, what you going to do for him? Is you going to tell somebody what he did for you? Is you going to share some testimony and say, you know what? I was once in a wheelchair, and he saved my life. Let me tell you something. When something tragic happened in your life, you don't even have to wind up in a wheelchair. It could be a bad car accident. It can be a bad accident. It could be something traumatic. And he still allow you to be here. He allow you to be here for you to change your life and for you to be a testimony to somebody else. And some of y'all don't even want to give him the glory. Some of y'all think, oh, well, I graduated from college because I did that. and I did this. Well, you graduated from college because he gave you the knowledge to graduate from college. He woke you up every day for you to work on what you have to work on, but you want all the credit. Y'all just want all the credit. Y'all don't want to give him no credit. But when y'all going through, Lord, I know I ain't do what I was supposed to do. And I know I promised you I wasn't gonna do that no more. When I was drunk and I said I never drank again. And I know I said I wasn't gonna do that no more and all that kind of stuff there. Lord, I know I did it again. And you're gonna do it again. A lot of people on my timeline right now, they made promises to Jehovah and they say, Lord, I never do it. That's why I wrote my poem. Say, do you know what it's like to repent for your sin and turn around and do it again? You know how many times I repent and say, Lord, I ain't gonna sleep with him no. I promise I ain't gonna sleep with him no. And then the flesh get weak. And then you go for your emotions. When you get that booty call 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And then you go do it again. And you be like, Lord, I'm sorry. Yeah, but you did it again. You know it wasn't right to begin with. It's bad enough that we're not supposed to be having sex, that ungodly sex and all that kind of stuff. You know, we're not supposed to really have sex until marriage. So we do all the stuff that we want to do. And at the end of the day, he's still constantly forgiving us. But some of y'all got to bump y'all head. But I'm going to say this to some of y'all. If I knew then what I know now, I probably would have been changed my life. But the life that was given to some of us, we didn't choose our parents. You didn't choose your mama, you didn't choose your daddy. We didn't choose our parents. So if you got a mama that was a prostitute and you got a daddy that was a drug dealer, I mean, if your life is better than theirs, I mean, you got to be thankful. Because you got a mama that was selling her body, you got a daddy that was selling drugs, and you still turned out to be okay. You could have been both of them. You could have been a prostitute and a drug dealer. But he had mercy on your soul. And y'all don't thank God for the little things. Every day that y'all wake up without an alarm clock and you get to work on time, who you think wake you up? And you don't say, Lord, I thank you. Every day I wake up, I say, Lord, I thank you. Even if things ain't going right, I say, Lord, thank you. Nobody have a perfect life. I don't have a perfect life. And y'all don't have a perfect life either. But a lot of people on the internet put up a facade. Now, why is it that I have all the less views? You know why I have all the less views on social media? It's because I'm trying to get people to change their life like me. I'm trying to get people to save their soul. You know why? Because they're going to need it. The world we live in it, everything, gas, everything is going up. And people think the wicked is winning. And in order for the wicked to realize that they're not winning, Jehovah got to show up and show out. Because that's all they're going to believe. They don't believe me telling them that Jehovah got power. Like Satan got power, Jehovah got more power. That's what I believe. Because Satan tried to destroy my life with a bullet in my chest. And Jehovah let me live. Hey, my baby. And Jehovah let me live. But if it was up to a lot of people in the wilderness, they'll stone me because they don't like me. We don't like her. Not because of what I did, because we don't like her. I ain't never seen so many disliked people in my life. And guess what? Welcome to the club, because somebody don't like y'all either. Ain't it sad that on all these platforms I be on, I got more pickaboos than views. But if y'all go down yonder in the wilderness. Go down yonder in the wilderness. They got all the views. Thank you, Queen. If you go down yonder in the wilderness, they got all the views down there. And they saying, oh, she be going live. She be going live and she be talking about what happened in her life and she be talking about Jehovah and all that. But she ain't got nobody over there for now. For now. I'm not going along to get along. And when you decide that you're not going to go along to get along, they don't like you. And let me tell y'all something. Hey, girl, let me tell y'all something. The internet, then the internet showed y'all a lot about life. I bet you a lot of y'all ain't know that many people dislike y'all. Until y'all started posting pictures of y'all children, y'all husband, y'all family. If you somebody and you posting your family and y'all living good, they don't like that. What I noticed about the internet and TikTok and all that, the people that they can degrade and look down on and talk down on, that's the people that they love. But if you somebody, you got a little something going for yourself, and you ain't around here deformed, or you ain't asking nobody for nothing, you ain't slobbering, ain't coming down your mouth, you ain't in the corner and time out look like you about to croak, that's the ones they like. That's the ones that, but me coming on here trying to save a soul and tell somebody, girl, look, you ain't perfect, I ain't perfect, but we could strive to get there. We ain't gonna never get perfect. But at the end of the day, we ain't gonna do the shit that we used to do years ago or days ago. Nobody don't want to hear that. Girl, nobody want to hear what she's talking about. And you know, let me identify to y'all how I'm telling the truth. A lot of people that's in the world, a young girl told me, she said, nobody want to hear you because you're older. She said, they want to hear from the young people. So if I was somebody that made something quiet on the creek, if I was somebody that made that, they wouldn't have liked it. They wouldn't have liked it. So with that being said, you got to be in the wilderness to get people to like you. You got to be out there in the wilderness for people to like you. You got to be one of them to sell your soul for people to like you. Thank you, Queen. Well, guess what? Ain't doing it. If I got to fall out the wheelchair and get back up, I'm not selling my soul. If I got to go through whatever I got to go through, I'm just going to wait on Jehovah. I'm just going to take a lick and keep on taking. Whatever it is I got to go through, them trying to stone me, trying to ridicule me, trying to bring me down, whatever I got to go through, I'm still going to take a stand. Yeah, they phony. And I ain't going to lie to you. I'm going to be honest. I see a lot of stuff going on the internet. If you ain't nobody, got somebody that's doing, let me tell y'all something. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. The wicked people in the world got the world thinking they're on top. Anytime we got a president, it's no way possible a president that then been convicted as a felon all them times should be the president. So that speaks volume right there. So now we got all the people around the world doing whatever they doing. Even the people that live a certain way. If you ain't living a certain way, and you ain't catering to the worldly people, you ain't shit to them. Right. You ain't shit to them. You know, a lot of people is more mad at me because I overcame. They don't want to hear about, oh, she HIV, but she non-detectable. They want to hear, oh yeah, she still, oh yeah, she got that shit or that shit. They don't want to hear nothing about that. Now if they heard, oh yeah, if I start losing weight and looking all bones to the bone and all that, they'll love that. Oh yeah, well, she got that shit. She got that other shit. Then the views will go up. But I'm gonna keep on keeping on, because at the end of the day, without a shadow of doubt, I know Jehovah gonna show up and show out. He wouldn't be who he is. Because the wicked be saying, they be mocking Jehovah. Where you going at now? You ain't got but 1, 2 people over there. You ain't got but a few people over there. Where you going at now? But see, what y'all gotta realize that God don't come in our time. Just when the wicked think they won, Jehovah gonna show up and show out. I know he gonna show up and show out in my life. He always did. He always did. You know what, y'all? He seek after the heart of a man. See your heart. Somebody probably say, I'm a heart, my heart, because I done been good to everybody, and everybody have been good to. But let me tell you something. When you do something for somebody, don't do it with strange attached. God wants us to do something with no strange attached. And God don't want you to harden your heart, because he created you just the way you are right now. He changed me for the better to save me. He saved me and I saved him. He saved me and he used me to save them. Don't let that go over y'all head. While the people in the wilderness think they won over me, we only get by. We don't get away. Ain't none of us exempt from life. We only get away. We don't get by. You ever crept with a man or sneak off with a woman, and in your mind, your husband or your wife or nobody tell you? You go home, take a little shower, wash up, and I ain't get in the bed with your wife or your husband. Because in your mind, nobody ain't saw you. You got away. Let me be honest with y'all. Nobody get away. Every move we make and everything that we do, when people talk about us in rooms that we not even in, he be there. That's why some people think, they be like, well, how she know this? And how she know this, Linda, Sharon? How she know this? You know why? I know a lot of things. My intuition. At one time, when my stomach used to hurt, when I was in a marriage relationship, I used to be all balled up and wondering why I got a nervous stomach. That always happened to me when my spouse cheated on me. That allow you to know that your intuition is not lying to you. Whenever you got a bad feeling, that's your intuition. What about the people where he said, don't go there? And you go anyway. And you be like, I knew it. He told me not to go, and I still went. That's your spirit of discernment. He gave you a spirit of discernment. That's what I have. I have a spirit of discernment. I can see some things happening before they happen. And people think, well, somebody must have told her something. Girl, you told her. Nobody ain't tell me nothing but Jehovah. Jehovah got people that he used. They designed. They his people. That's why if a little child come to you and a little child say something, you be like, but damn, how she know that? He said, out of the mouths of babes. Somebody didn't been here before. So when you get that intuition and you get that gut feeling, That's your intuition letting you know that the way that you feel and what you believe, if you believe in your mind that he or she is cheating, and then you get that pain in your stomach, that's your intuition. That pain means something. If you believe it, that's what happened. Even if they come home and deny it. But a lot of us know the truth, but some of us be in denial. Because people have a way of lying to their self and to people with a straight face. You ain't see me. They call a wait, how you say the word? Collar. I can't say the word, but it starts with a P. A person that lies and believe their lies. I can't pronounce the word, but it starts with a P. Y'all know exactly what I'm trying to say. Patrological, whatever it is. But anyway, if I say the word, it ain't gonna come out right anyway. So y'all know what I'm trying to say. I was listening to one of the interviews today, and I was trying to say pneumonia, and I say ammonia. And people are always in the comments trying to correct it and saying something. It is what it is. Sometimes I be talking and the wrong stuff come out. Oh well. Sometimes I be writing and the wrong stuff come on the paper. That's dyslexia. But it is what it is. But when you change your life, you're gonna get less phone calls. When you change your life and you get older, it's gonna be like, let me share this with y'all. I've been through a lot in my life. But the stuff that I have been through, I never thought in a million years that would have. If somebody would say, well, this how your life gonna be, and this how your life gonna be, and this gonna happen, and this gonna happen, I would have told them they're damn lie. I wouldn't have never thought. Here's wrong. I wouldn't have never thought in a million years that I would have been going through everything that I have been going through. And you know, when everything started happening, I started recognizing stuff when I changed my life. And I say, you know what? Y'all can have it. I ain't doing none of that shit no more. So when I started changing, y'all, the enemy been coming at me so hard. I mean, the enemy been coming at me so hard. All kind of ways. But I never thought in a million years that the enemy I never knew that the enemy had that much power to destroy a family with their children. I never knew that the enemy could attack you that bad where he separate you from the children that you love. The enemy got power, but Jehovah got more power. I believe he do. But dude, Satan have power. That boy got power, but he ain't got more power than Jehovah. But he got power. He got enough power to turn your whole. Tracy, I still can't say the word. Or patrological. I can't say the word, but that's the word. The enemy have so much power so he could turn your whole family against you. And you ain't got to be done did them nothing. You know, like some people be saying, and you know some of y'all do, because I did it. What I did in my life so bad. Even though we did stuff and he said forgive them because they know not what they do, right? He said he'll forgive you when you don't know no better. But to know better is to do better, right? So a lot of us, and some of y'all probably didn't, but some of us probably did, ask God, what I did to deserve this? What I deserve, what I did to deserve a husband like this. What I deserve, what I did to deserve a wife like this. What did I do to deserve a family like this? What did I do to deserve children like this? So let me tell y'all, some of the things we've been through in our life, y'all gonna believe this if I tell y'all this? Whether y'all believe it or not, I'm gonna tell y'all anyway. Some of the things that happen in some of our life has nothing to do with us. I'm gonna say it again. Some of the things that happens in our life has nothing to do with us. And let me tell y'all why it's like that. He said your sins and fall on your children. So if we commit a sin and we do something out the ordinary, and in our mind, we got away with it. And then our children have children, and it hit the next generation. So that means stuff that our ancestors did, stuff that our grandmothers did, our great-grandmothers did, our grandfathers did, our great-grandfathers. Some of us paying for some of these things. Whether y'all want to believe it or not. Look in the mirror. And you're a person that probably ain't never stole a bubble gum. I did. You might ain't, but I did. You're a person probably ain't never harmed nobody in your life. And you saying, I ain't never did nobody nothing. And you wondering why you going through what you going through. It ain't had nothing to do with you. All this happened, and Miss TT, all this happened before you even was daughter. That's why I say the people that we be born into the world, this is the life that was given to us. Whether y'all know it or not, my daddy was a pimp. I'm going to say it again. My dad had 5 women. And my sister on the line right now, she could tell you the same. My dad had 5 women living in the house with him. And my mother was his wife. And my mother had 7 kids. And out of all 7 of the kids, is me and my brother from my daddy. But my mama had 5 other kids, and 3 of them is deceased. But all of them got my brother, my daddy last name. All of them got the same last name as my daddy because my mother was married to my daddy until he expired on this earth. But I said that to say, even though I'm not gonna never disrespect my mom, but she said she wasn't one of his prostitutes. That's what my mama said. Hey, Jasmine, that's what my mama said. And out of respect, I'm just going with my mama. See, she wasn't none of his AO. But he had 5 women. And he ain't just started being a pimp. No, she wasn't one. That's what I'm saying. Listen. See, girl, you missed what I just said. Listen. I said my daddy had 5 women. My mother was his wife. Right? The 5 women that I know and my sister knew was his AOs. All right. Was his Yale. The 5 women, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know if you could say that. No, the H word on here on TikTok. That's why I'm being, I'm going around. But my dad had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 women living in the house with him. And my mama not included. My mother was his wife. So I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I never heard nobody ever say that my mama was his Yale. So I can't identify that. And when I talk to my mom, I got respect for my mama. But I said one time, because I'm a comedian too, and I say, "Yeah, girl, you must have was one of my daddy." And she said, "I ain't never was none of his." And I said, "Well, girl, you married him." And she said, "I don't care if I married him now. I want none of his." Well, if she say so, but you married him, okay. Show me your company. I'll tell you who he is, mom. So by my daddy having 5 women, and my mama being his wife. Now, mind you, my mother, or my mother's side of the family was Indians, possum blondes, high yellow people look like they, biracial and all that kind of stuff there, right? So my grandmother raised my mother, right? But my mother came from a family with money. My mama went to private school, you know, and my grandmother and all that grocery stores and ballrooms and all that kind of stuff that go to tell y'all the life I chose to live. I didn't have to. But I had a good side family and we had a bad side of the family. We had the people that was the popos. I'm not sure we had money. All right. So we had one side of our family was the good side, and one side was the bad side. Now, mind you, back then, my grandmother came from, I think, 14 children. Back then, they didn't have no birth controls and nothing to stop the women from getting pregnant and all that kind of stuff there. So my grandmother, all her siblings and all of them, it was 14. I think it was 14. Yeah, I think it was 13 or 14. So my grandmother, some of the sisters and brothers and all them, some of them was police officers and all that kind of stuff. That my grandmother had 17 children. Oh wow. So back then, so my grandmother, some of them was good, some of them was bad. So our side, all right. Yeah, the Hankton. All right. So our side, which is my grandmother's side, my grandmother was a madam, y'all. I'm just saying. My grandmother was a madam. My grandmother was the grandmother like my dear, but my grandmother was the grandmother that's going to put the pum on the table. Put it right there. My grandma put it right there. My grandma, when it happened to me, my grandma wanted to get active at 70-some years old. My grandma came to the hospital and shut it down. My grandma said, y'all all could leave, because she ain't going to pass the week. Madam, yeah, pimp, yeah. So that's where I come from. My grandma had a grocery store by the Iberville, by the project in the Fort Wall. Then she had a washateria. She owned houses, game rooms, etc., etc. Then she had a ballroom in the 7th Ward on Claiborne. And her people is from the 7 wards because they possum blondes. For the people who don't know, possum blondes is yellow people. Yeah, she was. So the flip side to this, y'all, is that my grandmother was the overseer over the family. Over the family. My grandmother's grocery store name was Big Mama's Grocery Store, and the store is still there. If you're not from New Orleans and you come to New Orleans, my grandmother's store was the first black-owned grocery store by Canal Street, close to the French Quarters, Bourbon Street. When my grandmother bought her house in New Orleans East, in New Orleans East, my grandmother was the first black person to live on her street on Rosalia Drive in New Orleans East. But they ain't had that many black people living in New Orleans East then. But I said that to say, my grandmother and my family had money. I mean, Arab money. But my grandmother was a longshoreman. For the people don't know, Wendy or Alexandra, a longshoreman is, right, people from the 7 and they talk about her story. Yeah. So a longshoreman is that a person that loan you money, and my grandmother would loan you money because I didn't went with her to pick up her money. She'll loan you, say, all right, let me pull out a number out there. Say she loaned you $200. Her $200 was $1 on $1. And when she come and she pull up in that Cadillac and she blow that horn, you come out with her money. And if you don't, she's sending somebody in there to get it. She pull up, she got a list, and I got receipts. I'm just saying, she got a list of names. And it's 100 people on the list. And we riding all in the projects. Every project. All in the Desire. All in the Florida. All in the Lafitte. All in the Iberville. And all the projects, somebody owed my grandma money. So I said that to say, that's where we come from. And then my grandma used to play cards. And I didn't know much about card games. And I go to the card game with her. That's how I learned how to play pity pat, spade, deuces, and all that other stuff. She'll say, deuce it, please. A deuce is wild. You can make it anything. That's how I learned to play deuce. So we was at one card game, and my grandma was playing cards. And they had a young girl in there, and she slipped and called my grandma the B word. My grandma went in that purse and pulled out that and put it on the table and said, call me one more. Say it again. Yeah. My grandma put that pum on the table and said, say it again. Say it one more again. Everybody at the card game, the whole card game is quiet. You could hear a pin drop. That was my grandma. That was my grandma. So I kind of say, when I started realizing who I really was, to be honest with y'all, I think, and a lot of, man, my grandma was very outspoken. And my grandma would go in the project and go wherever she wanted to go. When they had white people in the Iberville project, and wherever they had my grandma, it wasn't nowhere that she ain't pulling up. So I'm telling y'all this story is because a lot of y'all try to figure out why stuff happens to some of us. And why you might look at your son or your daughter, or say you don't even know your son or your daughter, their daddy history. Say you had a one-night stand with a man and you don't know nothing about his family history. Now you got a son and he a pim and he a black boy. And you trying to figure out, now when you met this man, he wasn't a pim or black boy because you ain't know that side of him, right? So now you trying to figure out why you got a black boy as a son or a daughter And you trying to figure out where this shit come from. The family tree. My grandma didn't play. And she ain't gonna talk about what she gonna do. It's gonna get done. And then now that I'm getting older, somebody say, well, all your grandma husbands came up. They came up what? You know, they'll tell you stories where, something happened, somebody played. I done went with my grandmother where she done pulled that thing out and pop, yeah, where my money at? I said, damn. And then as I got old enough to do the things that I wanted to do, and I started doing the background thinking, some of that shit, that's where I got it from. Because it's in my blood. The robbing and jacking and doing all this. And my grandmother had the grocery store. And none of us, out of all my grandma's children, my grandma had 9, I think 9 or 8. I gotta remember. But out of all my grandma's children, my mama is the oldest, and my mama had the most children. So by my mama having the most children, anytime one of us would get in trouble, my grandma, I'm gonna say my grandma did more for my mama than she did for any one of her kids, because my mama always had the children, all the children. I would never say that my grandma wasn't there for us, because she did for all of us. If we got in trouble, if it this and that, just before I got pum, I think I owed my grandmother a little money. I don't remember, but I think I did. And then when I went to jail, and my bond was $250,000. My bond was $250,000. My grandmother got me out. And anytime we got in some trouble, they was able to put up, if it ain't the money, it's the property. We always, and she said, y'all, when I'm not here no more, I'm 6 feet under. Don't get y'all stuff in no trouble, because I'm not gonna be able to call nobody. Hey, Queen, I love you more, to get y'all out of trouble. And I think about that. Now, if I had to commit a crime and my grandma was here, my grandma gonna get me out some kind of way, because she had pulled with the judges and told to you. When you back then, you had to know somebody to know somebody. That's why I know how the streets go. When you know somebody and you got a little money, because money talk in the system, but we all still have to pay for our sin. And I didn't hear stuff that didn't happen down the line in the family and this and that. And I be saying, well, damn, that's probably why I'm going through what I'm going through. Because whether y'all want to believe it or not, our parents' sins can fall on us. My daddy was a pimp, and I ain't gonna lie. I knew I did a whole lot of stuff. Let me say this. I was working at my grandma's store. That's how I first knew how to slice lunch meat and liver cheese and lunch tongue and cheese. Because I used it in my grandma's store, used the slicer. Because she taught us we never had to really go outside of our family. It's always a job. You can either work in a game room, you can work in the washateria, you can work at the bar room, you can work in the stove. My grandma always had something for us to do where we didn't have to go punch in the clock. And that was a good thing and a bad thing too. Because none of us, a lot of us, didn't know what it's like to have a real job, because we always worked for the family. Right? So that's why when I had children, I didn't know anything about nobody carrying your children on the income tax. And I never knew nothing about no income tax, no nothing. So if my husband was working, then he was getting all the money for the churn on his tax, because I ain't never knew nothing about that, because I only worked for my family. So they had the cigarette man. For some of y'all, this too young for some of y'all. The cigarette man it was the cigarette machine. And when you come in my grandma's store, the cigarette machine will be right there. And they have the ice cream maker right here in the front. And then they got the meat and all that in the back and all that kind of stuff there. And they got the candies where you can see the now laters and the long bar and the Jolly Ranchers. You can see all the candies and all that. And all us, different one of us working in the store. Right. So the man will come there and empty the cigarette machine. He empty and get the money out, and then he fill it up with cigarettes. Right. So the man looking at me, flirting with me or whatever. And Lord, forgive me. I asked God to forgive me for doing a man like I did. And I'm underage for him. He liked me. He catch me when I'm working in the store by myself. And he was a different race. And he tried to be sneaky, want to sleep with me or whatever. So me, I ain't gonna lie, me being a little hot ass who I was, it was supposed to be a little date. And I know, I'm gonna be honest with you, I knew in my mind I wasn't gonna get a man no coochie. I already know that. Like, you calling me over to your house, but you ain't finna get no coochie. But in my mind, you gonna give some money. That was me. You ain't getting no coochie, you ain't getting no honey, but I'm gonna get the money. So I went to the little man house and stuff like that, you know. So the little man thought he was gonna get something. You know he was gonna get something. So me with my little thieving ass did. I took the man wallet with all his money in it, took his pants, and I was gone. And I ain't know nothing about it. All I knew, I did what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it, and I did it. And then the next day, I was working in the store, and the man came over there, and my grandma was in there in the store with me at that time. I was supposed to be getting off. All right. That morning, I was getting off like 1 o'clock. My grandma happened to be there. And the man said, she got my money. She got my money. Lord, please forgive me. She got my money. She got my... And my grandmother said, what you done did to the man? I said, I ain't doing nothing. I said, you tried to sleep with me. And she said, you tried to sleep with my granddaughter? Like that. I know you ain't tried to. He was like, she got my money. Like that. So at this time, the money had been gone. I spent it. I went in the French Quarter at Feet First and bought me some fire-ass boots. Because that's what I wanted. But I said that to say, he couldn't call the police because I was underage. But I took all the man money. And to this day, I did that. It wasn't right. And now that I'm older, I can say I'm sorry because that was the man bill money. But I was a young girl. So 2 wrongs don't make no right. Just because you younger and he older, I still ain't had to steal a man money. But I did. And I asked God to forgive me for that because, you know, back then, I wanted what I wanted and I was going to go get what I wanted. So I said that to say everything that our parents, even you're a young girl on here, and say you got married, you got a husband, or a man or whatever, you got a husband. Don't you know if your mama used to mess with a married man, right? And your mama have children for a married man, or your daddy messed with a married woman, either or. Don't you know that when you get married and you have your family, somebody on here right now probably saying, why my husband or why my wife cheated on me? I ain't never cheated on them. It's in their blood. It's in their genes. Some people can't help themselves. They want to do right. They want to live right. But bad stuff is in their blood, in their genes. And the mama was a cheater, sleeping with somebody's husband, and you not a cheater, but your husband cheating on you. And it had nothing to do with you. Me and my sister, we are good women. I'm going to say, let's put that aside how I was as a young girl. When I got married to my first husband, it was something just came over my life saying, you know what, Ann? You done been in jail. Well, you done been in jail and they gave you 5 years, you dodged the bullet. Out of 5 years, you only done 2 months and you got out on appeal bond, right? So then I kept getting stopped by the police and all kinds of stuff was just going on in my life. Because all I ever messed with was big time drug dealers. And that shit started getting old. I said, man, I'm tired of ducking and hiding. And we go somewhere and we can't go enjoy our life because he out there slaying. Not really on the corner though, but he the man. I always mess with the kingpins and the men and all that. And one day I woke up, y'all, and I said, oh, wow. So one day I woke up, y'all, your ex-husband, wow. And I said, I don't want no more dope dealers in my life. I just woke up and said, no, I'm going to change my life. I don't want no more drug dealers in my life and all this shit kind of stuff, right? So I wound up being pregnant for a drug dealer. And I'm like, damn. But the only reason I had that baby, and I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I was like, man, I ain't trying to be pregnant again. I just want to. I went to Hawaii. I was living my best life, y'all. I was going from coast to coast. I was going everywhere I wanted to go. And then I wound up getting pregnant for a man that I'm not even his old lady. He just was my little getaway, get my little money. He got his little pleasure, and we go our separate way. It was like 1 year to quit, probably 2, 3 humps, and we out of there. I get my little money. He going his way. I'm going my way. Then one day I go to the doctor. They tell me I'm pregnant, and I'm like, damn. I ain't really want to have another child. I want to still be living my life because I had one child. Don't y'all know? In the process of me changing my life, I found out I was pregnant for the big deal, right? He winds up going to jail after he got pum. He wound up going to jail. So when I found out I was pregnant, I wound up getting with my first husband, and I was pregnant when I got with him. But we wasn't married. Now the first husband, when I first got with him, he wasn't in the streets like that. So I thought he was in the streets. So I found out he was a, good boy, so-called good boy, went to all boys schools, come from a good background and stuff like that. So now I'm trying to change my persona, trying to change my ways. I'm trying to go from a bad girl to being a good girl. So I wind up going to jail. I'm messing with another big time. They kicked in his sister door. They kicked in the door and found, a big old large amount of Yale. I mean, big. And it was in the attic. So I go to jail. All right. So in the process of me, that's still an open charge. Then I get with the guy who I was married with the first husband. Even though I was pregnant, I got with the guy who I thought was a good boy. Right? So I think I'm in the clear because I got me a good boy. He ain't in the streets and this and that. So I thought. Right? So me and him together, he accept me that I'm pregnant and stuff like that. Right? So that's the one that I wind up in a wheelchair behind. To make a long story short. But anyway, I wound up being with him when I was pregnant. So I'm like, I don't want no more dealers in my life. So I thought life was going to be good. I'm running from the life and come to find out he running to the life. And I had made a promise to Jehovah when I went to jail. Even though I went to jail and I'm in jail. So I read the Bible, John chapter 14, let not my heart be troubled in my Father's house, the many mansions. And I made a promise to Jehovah. And I said, if you let me up out of here, I know I got 5 years. If you let me up out of here with these 5 years, I'm going to go out there. My bond was $250,000. I was on the appeal bond. Me and the young lady, Sylvia. Sylvia ain't never been in trouble in her life. I've been in trouble, but I ain't never been convicted. So both of us, we in there together and we get caught up with some guys and we ain't had shit to do with nothing, right? So, hey, Vonnie. So all us, me and her, we in there. So I'm praying, saying, Lord, give me another chance. And I read John chapter 14. The lady Harriet Brown. God bless her soul. She dead and gone. But anyway, I started reading the Bible. I started sleeping with the Bible. So I'm about to go to jail and do 5 years. and why I am in jail, you know, I'm gonna leave that part for the book. I'm gonna just skip that part right there. Uh, so somebody else came in jail while I was in jail, right? But I ain't gonna tell that right now. Y'all read that in the book. So while I'm in there, I'm reading the Bible. So they came like at 11 something, but early they came early than yeah, they came about 11 something, and we had DOC bands. DOC bands. The band mean that we had red band mean that we was about to go. They about to ship us to St. Gabriel, the women's prison in St. Gabriel, Louisiana. So before they could ship us to St. Gabriel, Louisiana, um, is 11 something, just before 12 o'clock. We was in Jefferson Parish. So Jefferson Parish, all the Manhattan took their 5 years. Now, me and her, when we went to court, I was crying, telling the judge, how you gonna give me 5 years? And the lawyer said he was gonna give us a probation and we getting 5 years. So we wind up filing an appeal because they know they was wrong. Me and her didn't know. I knew that the guy was a dealer, but I didn't know he had drugs in his sister's house. Me and her either. So they came to get us in Jefferson Parish. They called me and her to go downstairs to take our picture to go to St. Gabriel women prison. They snapped her picture and they snapped my picture. And we still in our feelings. So the judge had then already told us to get somebody, to get another lawyer, fire the lawyer, Philip O'Neill, fire him, and get us another lawyer and file for us to appeal. That's how I know how appeal binds work. The same thing could have happened with Camilla. They could have filed the appeal on his situation and gave him appeal bind, and he could be out on the street on appeal bind. Because her and I, they had then already gave us 5 years within a week's time, within 3 weeks, something like that, going into a month, we got out on a $250,000 appeal bind. So she was in there, I was in there, but before we got out, they came to get us to go to the women prison, St. Gabriel. But before they could take us to the women prison, I heard them call her name, Sylvia. And I'm looking through the balls and I'm saying, well, damn, where's she going? But her people had them went through before mine. So she made buying $250,000 buying on a bill buying before me. And I'm like, damn. My family did the same thing. My grandmother and them did the same thing. I'm trying to figure out why I'm still sitting there. And then just before 12 o'clock, when they called, but I had then already prayed and I made a promise to Jehovah that I was going to go out there, I was going to have my baby, and I wasn't going to mess with no more big time dealers or none of that in my life. I made a promise to them. Y'all listen, I made that promise. I said, I don't want no more dealers in my life. I'm going to have this baby, which is Fashion Bug, my daughter Jasmine. I'm going to have this baby. And I don't want no part of nobody that's out there slinging nothing, nobody out there living foul. I don't want no part of that life. So I wound up getting out on the appeal buying. Me and Sylvia. We was out on the street on the appeal buying $250,000 buying. Right. So I wind up getting with Mia X. I wind up getting with her cousin, which is, she was messing with my brother at the time. So Mia wind up thinking, Mia X wind up having a daughter for my brother. My brother is the one that's saying that's on Giddy Girl, Don't Stop. My brother was big in New Orleans too. My brother was a major deal in New Orleans. He got unalive in '99. So I wind up going to Mia house in the 7th Ward. And when I went to Mia X house, my brother was over there a couple of times. So one day, I used to be with her cousin Elma. Me and her cousin was, real cool. And me and her cousin still cool, even though we don't talk a lot. She live in California, but she's still one of the ones who never changed on me. And they got another one. Her name is Kim. She never changed on me. She always speak to me when she see me. She always show me love. I don't care what they say about her. There's a couple of people in certain families that never gonna go against the grain. They're not gonna take sides, and they know wrong and right is right. So while I'm at Mia house, Mia ex my brother there. So her cousin pull up. Hey Brian, I love you more. So her cousin pull up. When her cousin pull up, which is the one who I was, married to begin with, and he said something to me, I said something to him. I am 5 years older than him, but he was infatuated with me. I'm not lying. He was infatuated with me. He liked me because I was well known. Thank you. I was well known. A lot of guys wanted to be with me. I'm just straight out say it. I was that shit. I was the shit. I was Miss Put That Shit On, and I was the shit back then. But they say I'm the shit still anyway. But anyway, so me and him wind up being together, mind you. So Auntie, let me get this right. So you was the girl back in the day. Yeah, not bragging. But so I wind up getting with him. Mind you, he was a mailman. So now, and he was a boy he was the guy that went to all boys school and stuff like that. So now, in my mind, I got me a good boy. I got me somebody ain't out there in the street, ain't living that street life. I'm all tickled. He all tickled. Yeah, he all tickled to be with me. I'm all tickled to be with him. He infatuated with me, and I like him because he don't know I like him because I'm not trying to live the way I used to live. And I look at him, damn, he a good boy, got his own car, got a good job. I'm thinking, but damn, this is my way out. And he accept me because I was pregnant with another man's child. Even though I could have lied and put it on him, probably could have ran a little whammy on him. But I was honest. I was only a couple of weeks, like a month or something like that. So me and him being together. So we was together for quite some time. And then I wound up getting pregnant for him after I had my daughter, Jasmine. Then I had my daughter, Corianne, right? So, right. So I wound up having my daughter, Corianne, right? And him and I wound up getting married. And of course, we didn't have a big wedding. We got married at the Justice of the Peace, and it was plain and simple. We just got married. Even though I always wanted a big wedding, but we was married. So now I am married to Mia ex first cousin, and she got a daughter from my brother, right? So my brother is Mia ex first, like her cousin too, because my brother and Mia ex cousin is cousins. They share the same last name because Mia cousin and my mama had a child together. Was this after the shooting? That's before. That's before. So me and him together, we get married. So we together, and then we have another child. So now it's 3 children. It's 4 children. Is my oldest son. That's the one my oldest son. He's 42 right now. Then I had Fashion Bug, which is Jasmine, and I was pregnant with her when I was pregnant with her when I got with my ex-cousin, right? So then I wound up having my daughter, Corianne, right? And we was married. So now I have Eric, Jasmine, Corianne, and now we married at this time. Me and that was my first husband. Me and him married. Then I wound up having Corey, which is my younger child that they call All Facts on IG. All Facts 6. That's my last child, right? So everything is all fine and dandy. Me and my ex, we good, right? So mind y'all, he younger than me. I got a little miles on me, He younger, but he got a little miles on him too, just in a different way, right? I got 5 years on him, right? But even though he was young, he still was a man, a little gentleman. I'm gonna say that. So as time go by, I don't know anything about him and the lifestyle that he was chosen. So we stayed in Slidell. We stood, different places. Because now, you know, we together and we married. So he started cheating from time to time, doing the little cheating and all that kind of stuff there, right? But one of the girls, he was messing with a lot of girls before he got with me. Let's say that. Because a lot of, and yeah, for y'all who say he must have a type, he do have a type. He like red girl. Jasmine daddy is the guy from out the Calio Project. Her daddy from out the Calio, from we Master P from, that's where her daddy from. Right? So we together and we going through little stuff like I think he lost his job and it was a lot of little things going on with us, was getting evicted from time to time, him and I, because I'm the one, out there grinding, getting the money, paying the bills, and then sometimes I fall short and I'm like, I can't get the money. But not trying to tricks no more, yo. Not jacking and robbing. But I always know how to make money. Even if it's hustling, stealing, whatever I was doing, the bill's gonna get paid. Right. That's me. No matter what way y'all look at it, what y'all want to say, whatever I had to do, if I had to steal, rob Peter people, the bill's gonna get paid. So we together. So he was messing with a couple of females before me, and I cut all that short. I'm like, she need to stop calling your phone. She need to stop calling your phone. We married now, you know. So as all this going on, uh, I wind up being pregnant with my little son, Lil Cole. And we wound up having a fight and all that because he was cheating on me. Punched me in my mouth one time, hit me one time, broke my jaw and all that. Even though he hit me one time, I still was still trying to be with him because I was like, you know what? I ain't got nowhere to go. I'm thinking from, I'm not really thinking like the man put his hands on you. You still gonna be with him? Yeah, I still was with him. Even though my mouth was wide shut in and I can't eat and I cut the wire so I can eat Popeyes and all that. I've been through all that. I felt like he loved me because we were still together. And I hit him first. I did because I had that shit bad. You do me something, and I had that, And he got a flashback and he hit me back one time. And I wanted to do him something, but I was in love with him. So I was like, you know what? My family, my brothers, everybody was like, oh, you. And they were like, they ain't really do nothing because of me. I'm always got to save her. I'm always want to save somebody. So I wanted to save him. Even though the family was like, oh, he didn't put it. And my grandma, he don't put his hand, he won't beat something, he better beat his mate. He don't beat on my grandma. What's your question? What's your question, Queen? So, do you think you chose the lifestyle based on the way you was raised? I chose the lifestyle that I saw a lot of things. Yeah. Yes, I saw a lot of things that I felt like I shouldn't have seen. But I think a lot of things that I probably would have did different if my mama would have been a little stricter or a little harder. But she gave us too much leverage. And what I mean by leverage is that she wasn't tough like my grandma. She was like, like buying us nice name brand clothes and, stuff that we wanted and all that kind of stuff that, but she didn't really like, she'll put her foot down, but not like she should put her foot down. Right. So I stood there through the mental, we used to fuss and stuff like that. And then one time I was with him and man, he was on the phone and we was talking. He was on the pay phone. And while he on the pay phone, all I hear is pim, 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 pim. And I'm like, what's going on? Pim, 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 pim. Why he on the pay phone? For the ones who know about the pay phone. The pay phone is the ones with the boot and you stand up and you're on the phone. So he on the phone with me, man, him going back and forth, we fussing, and I'm saying, well, where you at? You know, where you at? When you come out? Stuff like that. So at this time, I didn't know. Right. I didn't know that he was trying to get off into living a lifestyle, you know, that I didn't want no more. I didn't want no deal in my life. I didn't want no part of. And then when I heard the pium pium pium, I jumped in the car and I went where he was. Right. She was. So I jumped in the car and I went where he was. And it was one of his partners that used to be his partner. They was pium pium in the air. So they grazed his head. It didn't go in, but he got a cut on his head where the the bullet grazed. Oh my God. Wait, y'all. I gotta get my phone. My phone always playing some type of games. Wait, y'all, give me a minute. Phone be playing some type of game. I gotta catch up. So he got grazed. Wait, y'all, give me a minute. Be patient. Give me a minute. It's quiet on the ground. Okay, not bad. Y'all like this story, huh? Ain't no more water in here, and so y'all, I'm back. So y'all listen. So he wind up, thank y'all, he wind up getting grazed in his head. So I'm all hysterical, hollering and screaming. And I'm like, well, what's going on? What's going on? I don't know what's going on because in my mind, he not out there like that. In my mind, a little dib and a little dab or whatever, but it wasn't really nothing serious. That's what I'm saying. And I'm trying to figure shit out and I can't figure it out. Right. So as time go on, um, we still together. He's still like out there cheating and doing all kind of, messing with the women he used to mess with before he married me. He's still doing a little cheating and all that shit there, And in my mind, I'm like, damn. Now we got 2 children. We got 2 children together. And you out there cheating. So one time, I went looking for him. I'm at home, tossing and turning. Altogether, I got 4 children now. But I'm at home, and I'm tossing and turning, tossing. And I'm looking at the time, and I'm like, oh, so he ain't making home yet. So I'm like, damn, I got that intuition letting me know that he out there sleeping around, cheating on me. That intuition telling me I'm crying out to God. I'm restless. I'm just, the children sleeping. They don't know what's going on. I done been up all the way to daylight. And I was a tossing and a turning. Lay down, get up. Lay down, get up. I tossed and turned a whole night. Then daylight came. Benny came. And he had a lying ass excuse where he was until daylight. So I ain't getting no sleep. And I've been up to daylight. And you ain't finna get no sleep either. I couldn't go to sleep. So that means now you gotta stay up. Cause I couldn't go to sleep. Now you ain't gonna be able to go to sleep. So now we up. What you talking about? Cause I was by my mama. But your mama said you wasn't there. Your mama said you wasn't there. So you could lie to some of the people some of the time, but you can't lie all the time. So yeah, cheating why I got the little children and shit like that. So mind you, remember I had then already promised Jehovah, I don't want no more dope dealers in my life. I don't want no part of that. So in my intuition, you cheating on me and you're doing something else you ain't got no business doing that I don't know nothing about. I couldn't put my hand on it, and I can't say for sure that you're out there on the block. But you doing something. Come on, man. But you doing something other than what you should be doing. Right? So while you out there, I'm trying to figure out what's really going on. So y'all, in the process of me making that promise to Jehovah, I wind up getting stopped. And I got a ticket or something before, and I had all this going on. So I knew about all the other girls he was messing with. I found out he was by one girl house in New Orleans East because the guy liked me, and the guy was messing with her too. So the guy went by the girl house because he was messing with the same girl. The guy was mad because he was over there. Now, he my husband at the time. So the guy saw me that night, and we was talking, and he really, really liked me. And he was like, what's going on with you? And I said, nothing. And we started talking. And I said, yeah, I don't know where he at. We went to talk about my husband. I said, I don't know where he at. I said, but he's somewhere. And he said, I know where he at. And I said, run that by me again. He said, I know where your husband at. I said, yeah, right. He said, I know where your husband at. And I said, where he at? Lo and behold, he told me the address. He told me what door it was. And he told me where to go. And I'm going. So I'm lurking. And I'm going exactly where he told me to go. Because I've been tossing and turning a couple of days. Then you're still cheating. So that wasn't his first time cheating on me. For y'all who don't know the story. So I went to the girl house. The girl whose house I went to is the one who took the stand against me in behalf of the one who pew-pewed me. Yeah. For y'all who lost in the sauce, I went to the house and I knocked on the door. And when I knocked on the door, her mother came to the door. Now, this young lady is from the Ivoryville Project, where my grandmother had the grocery store at. So I knew her mama, I know her sister, And I know of her, but I don't really know her like that. I just know of her, by my grandmother still being right there. Everybody know everybody, right? So I knock on the door. Now, mind you, let me bring it back a little bit, because this way it gets juicy. The young lady who I went to her house, her and her friend. Her friend is one of the ones I post on my page out of the four. So her friend and her call themselves playing with me about my husband. But your friend used to go with him before me, but he didn't marry your friend. So they tried to play with me while I was married to him. And I ran them to the highway. I almost ran them off the highway from playing with me. Did. They played with me like they was about to do something to me. And I was like, okay. So it was like a high-speed chase thing. Since y'all won't play with me, I ain't lying to y'all. Somebody play with me, I don't mess with nobody unless they mess with me. They brought ass, and I'm going to give them ass. So they laugh in the car and all that kind of stuff, but they ain't want to stop the car. It's two of y'all playing with me, but y'all ain't stopping that car and y'all ain't getting out the car. Right? Right. So listen. Are they trying to play with me? All right. So as time went on, as she did, we ain't hear no more about that. Right? So the same one who tried to play with me, I knocked at her mama door. The mama came to the door. True story. I said, how you doing? I said, is my husband in there? The mama already knew who I was. The mama said, and Jehovah could take my life right now. Lord, you know I ain't lying. I said, is my husband in there? Y'all can't hear? Y'all can hear? Can y'all hear Brandy? So none of y'all can't hear? Oh, all right. So I knocked on the door. Y'all heard that part? So when I knocked on the young lady door, her mama door, it's going in and out. That's because people was calling my phone. And everybody know I be on live. I don't know why they do that. I don't know if they do that to distract me or whatever. But everybody know I be on live. I don't get that part there. The first thing you should do before you call my phone is check and see if I'm on live. Just because you don't see me on Instagram, go to YouTube. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. So y'all can hear me now? Y'all can hear me clear? Because I don't want y'all to be like, well, I missed something. And what happened? Can y'all hear me now, Faith? Y'all can hear me? All right. So me, the young lady, her mama came to the door. And I said, is my husband in here? And the mother said, if your husband in here, he ain't supposed to be in here. And if he in here, I'm going to get him out of here. She said, if he in here, he don't supposed to be in here. So I waited at the door. Because I know he was in there. Because he was in his daddy's station wagon. And the wagon was outside. So he came outside. And I was like, so this what we doing? And he was caught red-handed, so it was understood and it need to be explained. So he left, I left. But we met up at his mama's house. So we met up at his mama's house. We arguing, I'm going back and forth with him. I'm telling him, how you gonna do this? And I just had a baby and all this shit kind of stuff and all that. Girl, we started arguing, making noise, going back and forth. Somebody called the popo. Whoever called the popo, and they said disturbing, and somebody said we was out there fighting, and they say, well, I said, well, yeah, man, I had him back or whatever. It was the domestic. They put both us in a police car. They put him in a police car, and they put me in a police car. Both of y'all gone. So they put the husband and the wife, domestic against each other, in the same police car. And while we was in the police car, he acting like ain't nothing happened. I know you not. Do you realize that you just got busted sleeping at another woman's house and we in the back of the police car and you laughing and you acting like it's funny? Like, I love you. And it's that. But did you realize that I was tossing and turning, I ain't getting no sleep, and now you gonna laugh and he in and you gonna act like nothing ain't just happened? Like y'all just probably wasn't getting it on in there, and now you laughing. So now both of us incarcerated, and both of us got to get out. So he get out, and I get out. And girl, you thought that would have been the end of that. No, why? And why? Just why? So remember the young lady house he was by. He was messing with her before me. He was. And he was messing with her before the one he married tonight. Right? So as time go on, I wound up getting stopped. I got a ticket, right, for traffic. So I'm riding up St. Bernard Avenue. And I'm riding up St. Bernard Avenue one time. And we still was together off and on. And now mind you, man, when his first time, he be cheating. We were still together even though he was cheating. That's what some of us women do. I don't know why, but some of us just, girl, what it's gonna take. So I'm riding up St. Bernard and I look to the left. That's him and Miss Thing. He in the car with Miss Thing, who almost unalived me. So he pulls over. When he pulls over, I pull behind him. And I goes to the car and I said, put the window down. Nobody want to put the window down. I said, can y'all just put the window down? You put the window down, or one of y'all just put the window down. I just want to talk. I want to ask y'all a question. So she put her window down a little. The Miss Thing, who pum me from the back. When she put the window down a little, I said, what you doing in the car with him? I said, what are you doing in the car with my husband? No, I don't mess with your husband. You my girl. I wouldn't me and him don't mess around. I said, well, what you doing in the car with him? If you not messing with him, what are you doing in the car with him? She said, I don't know, but I don't mess with him. I would never do you that. So, all right, if you would never do me that, all I'm trying to understand is what are you doing in the car with my husband? I done saw you several times. Me and you done saw each other. Me and you didn't talk. We done talked about God. We done talked about, you say we could go and we could do this now. Mind you, we not friends. But all us grew up in the same area. But one thing about me, we could grow up in the same area. If I know that's your husband, I know that's your old man you been with, I ain't trying to be with him because I know I got respect for you. I've been knowing her baby daddy damn near when I started hanging in the Calio. And I have never, and me and him on pictures together and all that. Y'all can go on my page, her baby daddy and I on pictures together. But her baby daddy used to be with my ex-baby daddy. That was his partner. And her baby daddy have never got out the way with me. I just was like a partner to him because he was a partner to my baby daddy, and we was cool like that. And I wouldn't have never, even if he would have, which he ain't never tried to get out the way with me. But I wouldn't have never did it on the respect I had for her. I would have never went behind her and she was messing with another guy where the girl and her have the same name. So her other baby daddy, he had another old lady, and she was messing with him while he had an old lady. All right. So I'm like, I'm back to which I'm people, everybody in the six, why everybody know what's going on but me. And I'm like, so after I asked what was she doing in the car, she told me she wasn't messing with him, stuff like that. So he went to his mama house. All right, that's fine. I went on about my business. My feelings was hurt. I was hurt. I was in my emotion and all that. But I left and went on. Now, as time go on, he done came home. He back with me. We back messing around. We back together and all that kind of shit. Yeah. But he still was sleeping at home. But just because a man sleeping at home don't mean he ain't creeping outside the home. So in my mind, come on, man. So y'all can hear me because when people call, that messes up the live. I forgot to put it on Do Not Disturb. But anyway, they gonna call again. Watch. So I never thought in my mind that he would ever mess with her. That's what I'm saying. And don't get me wrong, I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought he would have messed with her sister because her sister fine, pretty girl, with stuff like that. And I was like, damn. I picture him if he was messing with somebody. I thought he would have messed with the sister, not her, because she was more like little quiet. And me and the sister used to mess with the same dudes. Like my daughter daddy, the sister's son was supposed to be from my daughter daddy as well, right? So as time go on, I get in the one day, he messing with somebody, but they ain't nothing new because he been messing with somebody. So one time I get stopped by the police, and I had a attachment, which is a warrant attachment, whatever. And they was bringing me to jail for a traffic attachment. So somebody had to get the children. So they called him, and he picked his children up, and he left my car, whatever. I had to park my car, whatever. But I went to jail like overnight, or maybe I got out the next day or something like that. When I got out of jail, so I'm asking everybody where my children are. So when I'm asking everybody where my children at, nobody wants to give out information. Nobody wants to tell me where my kids at. Nobody wants to tell me where the kids, his daughter and his son, which is our daughter and son. So when I get out, I finally find out that he at her mother's house. Because somebody say, well, he out there in the east, on Bunker Hill. And when they said the address, I said, well, damn, that was my mama's address. My mama just moved out of that house. So the house that my mother just had moved out of, prior to them moving, my mother was staying in the same house. That's how I was able to find the house so easy, because that was my mama's address. So some kind of way somebody called him and told him I was on my way to get my children. And when I went out there, I got my children. He put the children in the car, whatever. It wasn't no confrontation or nothing like that with me and her or whatever, because she never came outside or nothing like that. It was just, that was on me and him, right? So we had our little argument and all that kind of stuff there, but I had my own house and stuff like that. Now, mind you, I'm married to him. We got kids together. So he's still messing with me, and I didn't call him at our mama's house. So he messing with her too. But in spite of all that, in my mind, you mess with all these different women. But in my mind, I'm thinking we still have a chance to save our marriage. Out of all this shit, and you still want to be with him. You know. So as time went on, they was having a second line. And it was the side or stepper second line, which is they second line at the time. And she was second line. Because I used to second line when I was a young girl. So all us come up in the same area, second line. It was the culture. All us come up from second line and all that, right? And so I went by my grandmother, and my grandmother said, "Oh, you look so beautiful. You look so pretty." And you know, back then they used to wear Elizabeth Taylor perfume, the white diamond, not the funky smelling one, the good smelling one. So I sprayed on some of my grandmother, the white diamond, this that. She said, "You look so beautiful." She said, "Leave that boy alone. Don't go out there and get yourself in no trouble." Now, at this time, I had a little friend I used to talk on the phone with. Even though I was still with my husband, I was like, "Well, he cheating." I just had my little friend I talked to from time to time, you know, when I'm going through, somebody to listen to me. So I said, "I don't want to go to that second line." I said, "I do not want to go to the second line." In my mind, my friend said, "Well, I'm going to be out there. I'm going to see you out there." I said, "All right." So my plans was to go to the movies because I really didn't want to go to the second line. So I go to the second line. I see my mama. I see my family, the people I love out there. I see them. I don't stay out there long. Then I leave. Just before the second line getting over, I leave. I'm gone. I don't know why I left. I left before everything. So when I'm driving up the street, I'm in my Jeep. Oh, thank you, Tonya. Thank you, Queen. So I'm driving up the street. While I'm driving up the street, and my cousin behind me, and I'm not knowing my cousin behind me. So I'm driving up the street, and all of a sudden I look to my left. When I look to my left, oh, you don't know what the second line is? A second line is when people all in the street. It's our culture, and they dress up, and they be when you see a lot about New Orleans people when they second line in the street and they got clothes on and all that kind of stuff. There, that's what a second line. When you see people dancing in the street, it's called a second line. That's our culture down here. So I'm going up the street, and when I look to the side, now mind you, I just was with him that Friday. We was together that Friday. I just had moved in the house that I moved in. We was together that Friday, right? He always led me on to like, we still gonna be together. I'm out there cheating. I'm doing what I want to do, but I'm gonna make sure you and the churn straight. Make sure we gonna be all right, like that. Now, mind you, I didn't want no part of no dealing and none of that. I ain't know nothing about him doing no dealing and nothing like that because I already had and prayed about that. So, we're to show you how you could be blindsided. So I'm going up the street, and I look to the left on the driver's side, and I see her. Her is the one that pew me. And I stopped my car and put my car in neutral because I had a standard shift. I put it in neutral, and I got out the car. And it was her and another young lady she was with. And I said, she was in the trunk of the car that he had, that one of his partners gave him. It was a nice car. His partner / brother gave him. And I used to drive the car from time to time too. So I more like got in my feelings, y'all, because I saw her digging in the trunk of the car. So while she's digging in the trunk of the car, I walk up to her and I said, me. I said, "Didn't I tell you to stay away from my children?" I don't know what made me say that, y'all. It wasn't nothing but the trick of the enemy because the shit didn't make no damn sense anyway. And she ain't say nothing. She didn't say nothing, and I didn't say nothing after that. And all I said was, I told you to stay away from my children. Like that. So it's two of them, and it's one of me by myself. So ain't nobody saying, they ain't saying nothing. She ain't saying nothing, and I ain't saying nothing. So at this time, before I turned around and walked away, I did see a Crown Royal bag. And I knew she used to carry a Pum Pum in a Crown Royal bag. But it never dawned on me that she was going to use it or nothing like that. So I walked away. I was about to walk, I walked off. And before I could get to my car, she said, B. She said, B, take that up with your husband. And I said, so when she called me the B word, I turned around. And I said, what you said? And I ain't gonna lie to y'all. By me hearing my dad calling women bees, 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 I despise anybody. The B word to me is fighting words. And when she said, B, take that up with your husband, I walked back up to her and her friend, and I said, what you said? And I slapped her. I did slap her. So when I slapped her, I'm like, waiting for, if they gonna jump me, whatever it's gonna be, we about to strap. We about to do some cat fight. Mind you, I ain't have no weapon, no nothing in my hand, nothing but a skirt on, the vest, the master, the skirt, my purse in the car, everything. The car's in the middle of the street, and I slapped. And when I slapped him, we standing up there. It's two of them, and it's one of me. And I'm like, in my mind, damn, we ain't about to fight. Because I was waiting for, if they gonna beat my ass or they just gonna beat my ass. She gonna beat my ass, she gonna beat my ass, and we gonna live this day another day. And then if y'all jump me, then we gonna fight and see each other again. And I'm gonna fight one of y'all one-on-one. We gonna fight. If y'all beat my ass, if y'all jump me, we gonna fight one-on-one every time I see y'all. Every time I see y'all, I want my fight. I want my round. So in my mind, that's what I'm looking for, a fight. I ain't looking for no pum and nothing like that, because at the end of the day, I always did fight. Me and girls fight over boys in school and all that shit there. Yeah, before it's me trying to unalive a woman with a pum, that wasn't gonna never happen. Cause I feel like I ain't gotta, like they be jumping and all that shit. I ain't gotta jump nobody. We either gonna fight, you gonna whip my ass, I'm gonna whip your ass, and if you whip my ass, we gonna fight again until I whip your ass. So that's that. In my mind, let's roll. So we just standing up there. Nobody ain't doing nothing. So I turned around, like, damn. So ain't nobody, y'all, we ain't doing it. And I turned around and I went to get in my Jeep, and I don't remember nothing from then on. I don't remember getting pum in the back. I don't know. I don't remember what happened. I don't remember nothing from then on. I was in a coma for quite some time. And when I did come out of the coma, I remember my ex-husband being there because he had on brown leather, he had on a leather jacket with a leather hat. I remember him being there. He brought some grapes. I remember my pressure going up, and he left the hospital. And I remember whenever I came out the coma, they 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 put the pin down my foot and asked me, can I feel it? And that's when they identified that I was paralyzed. And I didn't know what paralyzed meant. I didn't know what it was. All I know is I had small kids that I had to get home to, that I had to raise. So even though that happened, all right, it was she went to jail. For the people who asked, did she go to jail? Yes, she went to jail. She went to jail. They gave her a bond. Of course, they a post bond. At this time, I didn't know my ex was a dealer. I didn't know anything about that. And for some apparent reason, that's why we was going through what we was going through, because I was pulling away from the drug life and he was pulling to the drug life. Right. All the signs was there, but I still missed them. You know. So we didn't go to court for quite some time. And then it was almost a year later, and the district attorney called me, and it was like, "Oh, we set it for a trial date." So they went and picked her up, and they locked her up again, and they gave her another bond, right? And then she made bond on the other bond, right? So now, mind you, we dealing with people that, like, we have a little money. Them people over there, they they got a little money over there too, because they doing what they do, right? So we wind up almost a year later going to trial. The judge said that he was going to let the jurors make the decision, because if he make the decision, she was going to wind up having to serve some time, because when she me in the back, I was no longer a threat and I didn't have a weapon, right? So the judge gave it over to the jurors, all black jurors, our own peers. And they said little things about me, what I did in the past, never been convicted or whatever. But they brought up the fact that I used to carry a pum. I did. They brought up the fact that when I was a certain age, I almost unalive a man. Did. But no conviction. But I did. So the jurors went deliberate and they came back with a not guilty. So they found her not guilty, even though I didn't have a weapon, even though I got hit in the back. They found her not guilty. And that's the story. So it is what it is. And the young lady, the reason why they found her not guilty, the odds was against me, not because of what I did in my past, because they had 10 women. And one of them was her sister, the other one was her sister-in-law, and the majority of the other women was his ex-girlfriends and other people that they got to lie. That says, the sister said I was notorious. Notorious? I never was notorious. Now, I was not nice, but I was notorious. The sister said I was notorious. All the other girls, not a one who I went and knocked on her door. Y'all remember in the beginning of the story, I went and knocked on her mama door that he was messing with. She took the stand against me in behalf of the second wife. The one who he was messing with before me and her, she took the stand against me for the second wife. I guess that was her lick back. And then y'all won't hear one better. She the godmother of my grandchild. The reason she the godmother of my grandchild is my son, baby mama, is her best friend. Yeah. There y'all have it. And that's just some of it. It get deeper than that. It's way far more deeper than that. I used to sleep at the house. The one who almost unalived me, I used to sleep at their house. They'll be going to school, and my little hot tail ass with their brother that was older than me. When my mama looking for me, I'm in their house while they getting dressed going to school. And I go home and get an ass with it. Y'all don't know the half. So to y'all think y'all know my life story is is way beyond the little stuff y'all hear. And all these women that turn their back on me, that be around, that be stirring up and all this shit kind of stuff. What I'm trying to understand is why y'all mad at me. How y'all gonna get mad at me? I was stupid. I was naive. I loved it, a man that was out there cheating on me, and the woman he was cheating on me was a person that I grew up with, and she almost unalived me. She with him, he with her, and y'all still not satisfied. Y'all gotta make it make sense. And then y'all mad at me, which was the wife. How y'all mad at the wife? How y'all mad at me as the wife? Oh, I forgot y'all mad because I should have kept my hand to myself. I ain't did no more than some of y'all would have did out of y'all emotion and y'all feelings. So that's just the beginning. It's a lot more. See, when y'all be hearing little bits and little stories and stuff like that, I never was a bully. I never had a restraining order. That was out of all the times she was messing with my husband, I saw her 3 times. I never threatened her. That was the time I saw her. That was the time I got out the car. And at the end of the day, she knows she had a weapon and I didn't. But they painted me. They painted me as the bad guy. All them women, all 10 of them women, and one guy got on the stand, and he was from out of California. He wasn't even from here. He got on the stand and said he saw me, and I had this. I had on a vest, I had on a skirt, and there's no way possible I can put a weapon on me. But one of the guys, and I forgive him, and I told him I forgive him. He went and got a pum out of his mama's house and threw on the ground by my body to try to make it seem like I had a weapon. And my family members saw him. When he did it, he ain't know they saw him throw it on the ground. And then, years prior to that, in front of the same house, me and my sister played Russian roulette, something we ain't know nothing about. And my friend unalived himself in front of me and died in my arms. My friend unalived himself and fell in my arms and passed away. And years later, I get pum in front of my friend's house, the same house. He unalived himself. So before y'all be around here trying to judge me and try to talk about I'm messy. I'm messy because I'm telling my life story. To me, it's me taking accountability because I say I was wrong for hitting it and being transparent, and y'all still mad. Is it that y'all mad because I'm telling the truth? Or is it y'all mad because y'all always had a jealous spirit toward me? How can any woman get mad with a woman for approaching another woman about her husband? And some of y'all not even married, and y'all approach y'all side pieces, and y'all approach the wife. But in this case, I'm the wife approached the side piece. And the only reason why I approach her, because I didn't want to believe that she was the one sleeping with my husband. Right? But everybody entitled to their opinion, and people entitled to however they want to feel. But you cannot make right wrong. No matter what they say out there, y'all can't convince right and make it out of wrong. Y'all can't say, oh, Ann was wrong. Ann, that was Ann's husband. So what was so wrong about the only wrong thing I did was put my hands on another woman because I felt betrayed. And I take accountability for that. So I was wrong, and she damn sure was wrong for pum-pumming me in my back. No matter how y'all feel, y'all that go along to get along and won't take sides, when it comes down to judgment day, you think God gonna say, well, Ann was wrong for hitting you. Yeah, but that give you the right to pull out a pum-pum and try to take her life? I'm just saying. But one thing about me, I'm the bigger woman because I take accountability. I take accountability for what I did for loving a man that was out there cheating on me. But I take accountability for putting my hand on another woman because I was in my emotion and my feelings. Now, when they're going to take accountability, that's between them and God. Because I'm free. No matter how many pictures they post on the internet, no matter how many y'all try to destroy my character, try to make me feel bad, at the end of the day, you still got to live with the fact that you almost unalive a woman over her husband. No matter what the friends, the brothers, the sons, no matter what nobody say, when it all comes boil down to judgment day, she got to bear her own cross. We all got to carry our own cross. No matter what the naysayers say, no matter how y'all feel, no matter what y'all say, when judgment day comes, because God honors marriage. So y'all, the ones who go along to get along, girl, you ain't did nothing wrong. She shouldn't have did this. She shouldn't. I would have been telling my friend, girl, I love you, but what you did was wrong. I'ma always love you. You're my friend. But what you did, that shit wasn't right. That still was that girl husband. Y'all can't make it right when it's wrong. No matter how much y'all boast and brag and won't go along to get along, we all got to stand in front of one man and be judged on one accord. See, I made peace with myself, and I made peace with Jehovah, because I take accountability and I ask for forgiveness. But when y'all gonna ask for forgiveness for yourself? See, I forgave me. Now, the ball is in y'all hand because y'all got to go through what y'all got to go through, because nobody's exempt from life. So to all y'all women out there feel like, oh, Ann did this and Ann was that, it don't make it right. Stop trying to justify the truth. Wrong is wrong. No matter how much y'all clap for. Girl, you did what you were supposed to do, girl. You can't get mad because people react the certain way. Anybody got to pull out a pum-pum to a fist fight. And it's for all y'all. Y'all cowards. Y'all cowards. Because one thing about it, at the end of the day, somebody say, well, when he put his hands on you, why you ain't unalive him? For what reason? I had children for him. So I was like, and people was like, well, we about to get, and I was like, nah, we ain't finna do that. At the end of the day, that's still my children, Dad. That's still, at the end of the day, but my family came through and they were like, you know what, Ann, what you want us to do? And we ain't doing that the same thing with her. What we gonna do? We ain't gonna do nothing. I don't want my lick back. Not me. Because my lick ain't the right lick. But every knee shall bow and every tongue must confess. And I don't give a damn how y'all feel about me and how y'all don't like me. But at the end of the day, if I can pay for my sins, what makes y'all think y'all exempt? What makes y'all think y'all got the answer to everything in life? Talk about, oh, well, you did what you were supposed to do. She ain't no business doing this, and she ain't no business messing with somebody else's husband. I'm just saying. That wasn't my boyfriend. And then she told me she wasn't with him. So you telling me you ain't with him made me feel some type of way. So I been gave it to God, but at the end of the day, it's the people on the outside that don't have nothing to do with it. That coming, well, and that been years ago, and should let it go. Last time I looked in the mirror, I'm still sitting in the wheelchair. And guess what? To be honest with y'all, I think I'm doing damn good. Because I'm somebody since y'all was that, and you did this, you did that. Yeah. But people underestimate you because they feel like because you're in a wheelchair and all this your kind of stuff. No. What the wheelchair got to do with me? But I thank God for his grace and his mercy. I thank him for keeping me in perfect peace and changing me. And I thank him for allowing me to draw closer to him so I could give it to him. And just because I talk about it don't mean that I ain't give it to him. See, y'all got to know the difference. If I wouldn't have gave it to him, I would have retaliated. But so they post a picture, they post this, they post that. And when I post something, it's cool for them to do it and throw shade on the internet. But when I come back, oh, she shouldn't have never did that. She shouldn't have never. Well, how'd she get it? And who sent it to her? But no matter how many times people tell them, leave the girl alone. See, the enemy want me to do what? Man, I ain't gonna do y'all nothing. Because the games y'all playing, y'all gotta pay for that on y'all. At the end, he said, every knee shall bow and every tongue must confess. I can't touch y'all. But I'm gonna continue to keep praying and keep on allowing him to keep on being manifest in my life where I could continue to be strong. Because he speak volume when y'all do little petty shit. I thought we was too old for this shit. This back and forward shit about somebody. I thought and then the cold part about it, y'all get other people to do y'all dirty work. Girl, I don't have no internet. Girl, I don't do all that internet stuff. No, but you throw the rock and hide your hand. You throw the rock and hide your hand. And I ain't never seen so many evil, deceitful people in my life. Y'all think I ain't never heard people say, oh, that's good for her. Some of them say she should have D-I-E. I thought y'all said I couldn't spell. I'm just saying. Some of them said that. She should have D-I-E. Now, I'm in a wheelchair, but I'm still here. I'm still alive. See, y'all behind the scenes. Y'all don't know what they do. I go to concerts, I go to different places, they done bump the wheelchair and all kind of shit. I done got in my car and cried. And say, Lord, please, I beg you, Lord, please let them leave me alone. Please, give me the strength. Talking about turning the other cheek. I did. How you gonna pass me and bump my chair? And I look around like, y'all don't know how many times I had to eat shit that I really didn't want to eat. Like, I know you. All right. And then you know what people, well, she just messed it and ain't nobody believe that. She probably did that to herself and she probably did it. They got trolls come all on my page. They got people that go along and get along. They didn't pay people. Let me tell you this. If you pay people to get on the stand and lie on their behalf, on her behalf, what else you pay people to do? I would love to see what the divorce papers say because I ain't never read the divorce papers. Not to this day. For me to go on with my life and marry somebody else, all I had to do is show them some papers, but I never read them. Because I felt like I don't want nobody, don't want me. But I should have took my time and read them because I really want to know what was the grounds for divorce. Because knowing me, knowing you got it like that, and you cheated on me, and you got it going on, so y'all really think in your mind that I wouldn't have got spouse support? So y'all really think in y'all mind, the hustler that I am, that they wouldn't be paying for what they did to me. All I did is a little slap. No black eye, no red face, no none of that. And you think I would have let you walk away without paying me for my years and my tears and all my wasted years? I'm just saying. So before y'all go to judging, know the story. Know the backstory. They mad because I'm living in my truth and I'm telling the truth. And they can't handle the truth. One thing about a lie, you got to tell a lie again, a lie again, a lie again. Well, when you tell the truth, you could come on. I could come on here and close my eyes and tell y'all the same story a million times, and it ain't gonna never change. And there y'all have it. I thank all y'all for the love and support, but keep on tuning in because it's way more than that. It's way more than that. And I come on my platforms on YouTube every day. I come on Facebook every day. I come on TikTok or Instagram. I make my choice. But at the end of the day, whether y'all come and show me some love or not, I'm still going to continue to push. And no matter what they do, they could post pictures. They could send video. They could do. That tells a lot about everybody and the people they're around. They small-minded people. Hey, Tammy. Hey, sis. They small-minded people. Damn. The girl in the wheelchair. The girl going through all the shit she be going through, whatever. The girl ain't even got a good man in her life, and y'all still bored. Damn. Y'all want the goddamn wheelchair. Well, y'all can't have it because I need it. Y'all be blessed, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. I love y'all on YouTube. Thank y'all.